inside of Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
WFDF Farmington Hills, Detroit, 910 AM Superstation, a division of Adele Media.
This is Kerry Jackson, you're the conservative. Listen, y'all. It's a talk show, and I want everybody to call and say what's on your mind. Do you honestly believe that an elected official or a police chief can stop people who are criminals from being criminals? The government's checkbook is not going to solve the problems that we have. We are never going to get anywhere until you decide that you individually care enough about your community to do something.
910 AM Superstation. We're the hottest station in town. The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 910 AM Superstation or Adele Media.
Good morning, Metro Detroit. It's Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. How are you this morning? Time now is just after 6 o'clock in the morning. If you've got to be there by 7 o'clock, you've down to 58 minutes to get there. Listen to the 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. Just a reminder, you have me for the next hour in my regular slot. And it will be followed by the Joel Jones Show from 7 to 9. And then today only, don't get used to this, I will be sitting in for Anthony Adams from 9 to 11 later on this morning. I'll physically be in the studio. Y'all know I'm at home right now. I'll physically be in the studio from 9 to 11. So tune in. We've got different topics then. This morning, we're going to continue with our I guess you can call it a series, which is focused on the fact that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so now we're going to have, we're going to have as many Mental Health Mondays as Sherry wants to have. Counselor Sherry Posey from the Rising Phoenix Counseling and Associates Center is here again with us. Y'all know that she was with us last week, and that hour went by very, very quickly. We still have plenty of people on hold. We couldn't really get to them. So she made a commitment that she was going to come back today, and y'all know she's got a standing invitation to come back as often as she wants to, as long as she's offering stuff that, will help the community. People need to get rid of the stigma of seeking treatment for the mental health. And yesterday I asked Sherry, I don't know how many of you, I know a lot of people just don't watch the news. And so if you just don't watch the news, you miss out on some of the things that have happened in our community, particularly in the last month. We have had 3 that I know of. I think it might be 4, but at least 3 high-profile homicides that came about as a result of ended or, women wanting to get out of relationships and having problems, and the man couldn't take it. And as opposed to the man being able to say, all right, listen, sweetheart, this didn't work. You're not for me, I'm not for you. You go find you somebody else, I'm going to go find me somebody else. And we'll just, you go left, I'll go right. Instead of the man being able to say that, it has led to some tragic consequences that have been, amplified, told about, covered in the news a lot in the last month. And so I asked Sherry if she could come on this morning to talk about coping mechanism, what we as a community can do to start to teach, because nobody teaches young men what to do when the relationship is over. There is no class you take in high school. It's not something that's covered in health or in gym or any of the other stuff. Maybe, just maybe, you're lucky enough to have had a counselor that covers as a gym teacher who also happened to have embedded that little nugget into you to let you know that sometimes relationships don't work out. Oftentimes relationships don't work out. And, you've got to be strong enough and have enough faith that things will be just fine your life will continue. Life's not over simply because a girl decided she didn't like you anymore and she wants to leave and she wants to compete with somebody else. But unfortunately, as you can see, we've had grown folks. I think well, I mean, I can't say the latest one was 49 because I think there were two others over the weekend. But in the last week and a half, I mean, one of the gentlemen was 49 years old and he still never learned those coping mechanisms. And his solution was the fact that she had left, the young lady had left him and was taking up spending time with another man, is to go shoot and kill her and as well as shoot the new man. And then when cornered by the police, he decided, oh, I can't go to prison. Oh no, I really can't do that. So he decided to kill himself. Well, if he was that, anyway. 313-778-7600. Good morning, Counselor Posey. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Good morning, Sherry, and good morning to your listeners. I'm doing well this morning.
So tell me this. As a licensed therapist, as a counselor, talks to folks about, all sorts of wide spectrum of things. Can we at least agree that we don't teach nor emphasize in our community ways to walk away, to get along fine, have faith that things will that your life will continue, that we have, and we've had for a very long time. This is not something, I don't want anybody calling in blaming. Let's blame Facebook and blame social media. We've had these problems in our community for as long as I can remember, where there have been mostly men. Now, let me tell you, I know that there have been some instances where the woman was unhappy with the relationship. And what usually happens is she goes by and busts out your window, scratch your car up or something. That's why we have insurance. But I'm not seeing too many. I think one of the first cases that I was exposed to as a paralegal was a domestic violence that involved the woman shooting the husband, but she didn't shoot him because the relationship was over. She shot him because she came home and found him in bed with another woman at her house, in her bed. So she went to the closet, got the gun, and she shot him. Other than quick little trigger things like that, I have not really seen there be a pattern among women with the, we've seen, everybody's watched that Glenn Close movie, Fatal Attraction. We know that some women can't really handle when the relationship's over, but I haven't really seen it lead to too many instances of death. So how do we even start? What's first base? What can we do to start to train the men in our community, and men and women, I'm not going to discriminate, to try to teach the people in our community that life goes on when the relationship ends. Things will be just fine. You will find somebody else. You will be able to prosper, and you look back at that one relationship and say, I learned from it, brush it off, keep moving. But I can tell you, I know I've seen a lot of teenagers that they don't know this. We don't teach this. Where do we begin?
Oh, wow, that's a loaded question. There are a lot of reasons that lead to domestic violence. So let me say this. You are correct when you say that we see it primarily in situations where men become violent and have that thought, if I can't have you, nobody will. And you're also right that we don't always teach our children growing up about to look out for these signs. What leads somebody to become so connected to you that they cannot picture their lives without you?
I honestly thought you were going to say obsessed.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
So there's so many things like the person usually has low self-esteem. They witness domestic violence in their own home and community. Let's see. It's about control and power. It's not about love. Both men and women can be victims. They just don't know what to do. They are like, and there's signs. We don't tell our kids the signs. So here's some signs for it. Number one, if they tell you that you never can do anything right. Number two, they are extremely jealous and will show this jealousy by not wanting you to be with your friends or anytime you want to spend time away from them. They try to isolate you. They try to isolate you from your own family. Insulting you, like I said, demeaning, shaming you in front of other people, preventing you from making your own decisions. They often become jealous if you're trying to change your life. So if you wanted to get a better job or go back to school, oftentimes they're not in favor of it. They want to control all the finances. They only want to give you a limited amount of money. They pressure you to have sex or perform sex acts that a person is not comfortable with. Sometimes they pressure you to use drugs or alcohol. And they give intimidating looks. They insult you as a parent if you have children together. And they threaten to take away your kids or your pets. And they will intimidate you by using weapons like guns or knives or bats. And they destroy things that are special to you as well. So these are some of the warning signs.
So if I appreciate you listing some, let's be clear, everybody, that's not an all-inclusive list, but there are certain red flags, I guess. I hate that phrase, red flags, but there are certain things that you can look for to sort of point out that, okay, this person is probably not, this relationship is probably not going to work out. We need to start seeing some sort of exit strategy. But I like the phrase that you use, that they can't see a future where they're not with you. I don't know how folks wind up getting that connected, but if in fact you know that you've got a friend, a family, a teenager or something, a friend, a member of the family, someone that you know who you can see that they have those signs, what do? How do you get involved? Where do you start? I mean, who do you tell them to call? Who do you call in place of them? Is it help to try and, take action to say, go to the person's parents and talk to them? Where do you start? Because I'm just not a believer that everybody needs to walk around with their head buried in the sand.
No, I agree. You want to start with that person if you can. If that's the person that's being abused, if that's a family member or a friend, you want to try to pull them to the side and talk to them. Be honest about what you're seeing. I
got to tell you, we got to go to break, and that is an excellent point to go to break on, because that's a whole can of worms to actually go and address it, sort of like in an intervention where you want to talk to that person. Because I can tell you, I can think right now, the second you said it, I thought of 3 instances I know that I would, you talk to the person and they don't want to hear it. They ain't going to listen to you, but we're going to cover that on the other side of the break. 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. This morning, we're talking about what to do when the relationship ends. How do we train people that it's going to be all right and they can move forward without violence? 313-778-7600. Get on the phones. We'll take a very quick break. We'll be right back.
This report is sponsored by MGM Grand Detroit. Rev your engines for a chance at a Dodge Challenger. Now through May 27, earn entries playing your favorite slots or table games during MGM Grand Detroit's Grand Spree and secure your spot in the finale. It's a good time for a grand time. See the MGM Rewards Desk for details. 21 plus and present to win.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. Changing the world one life at a time.
I had no energy for months and months and months. I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. and I kept listening to the commercials. And you know, you don't know if something's going to help you or not, but I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days to taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to
Burdell, I'm sorry to hear that.
balanceofnature.com and use discount code Radio5.
I don't know if you want to talk about it on the air or
Superstation
not.
is
I'll
your
leave that
number
up to
one
you.
source for urban talk radio. If you're looking for the
that's
best in
hard.
radio programming, look no further. You can now listen in on a multitude of audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Listen Notes, and coming soon to Amazon Music, Good Pods, and Overcast. 910 AM Superstation, the largest, strongest, 50,000 watt urban radio station in town.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499.
The 910 AM live stream can now be seen on Apple TV, Roku, Chromecast, YouTube Red, iPhone, iPad, Android phone, Android tablet, Amazon Kindle Fire, any Windows phone, or watch us live at 910amsuperstation.com.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. You're listening to the Urban Conservative Hour on 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number in the studio is 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. Just saying, Burdell, I saw the comment that you put into the feed. I know that it's going to be a little hard to actually talk about that on the air, but you know, the truth is we've got to address it. Let me just tell y'all something. I know I'm not perfect. And even though, you know, those of you who know me know that I have I'm not saying that I have all of the answers and that I've always ended relationships the way that I end them now, which is, you know, the young lady this is my thing. I'm at a stage in my life where the position is, you don't want to be with me, that's all right. See you later. Bye. You know, and I can tell y'all, Sherry is my cousin, the one, and so she's got to deal with the fact that I have an attitude of I'm gonna replace him in 5 minutes, so I'm not gonna lose a lot of sleep. But I have not always been this way, and I don't have, you know, a lot of folks might like to say, you know, well, Kerry, you've got, you know, commitment problems, phobias. I don't. I just know that, you know, 20-year-old, 19 and 20-year-old Kerry had a problem, and I could see, that's why I can understand what was happening in these men's mind. The young lady that I was with, when she went to break up with me, I lost my mind, and I thought, oh my God, the world is over. You know, and that she was the be all and end all, and I never thought that there would be others, you know. Yeah. Now, looking back at it now, you know, and so I had to work through that situation. Wrecked the car, you know, wound up having heartbreak and all of that other stuff, trying to keep somebody in a relationship that they really didn't want to wind up being in. Now, 40 years later, she and I are good friends now, you know, talk to her on and off. She calls, you know, my family all the time and stuff. But I looking back upon that person then, I wish that I knew then what I know now. That when the relationship ends, you say, bye. Listen, we ain't got to fight. I went through 2 divorces. I asked both of the wives, listen, we ain't even got to have a long drawn out divorce. Figure out what you want. You can get it, go on about your business. Just get out of my way so I can go be with the next one. They didn't like that. And so they decided that they wanted to drag it out because they were angry because nobody ever talked to them that he'll be all right. I'm going to be just fine. And I'm not going to have the police get involved. And I ain't crying no tears and none of that other stuff because the relationship's over. Relationships end. But again, I'm getting ready to turn 60. I know that at this stage of my life. I did not know that when I was 19. I did not know that, but I didn't take the route, at that same time. A friend of mine that we all went to school together and everything, he decided that because the relationship was over, he had to shoot himself in the head, and he languished in the hospital for a month, and then he died. And I got to tell you, those of us that went to school with the young man, his name was David Marshall, that had a huge impact on us. And that might have been one of them things that make you clearly say, hold on, it ain't that serious. You don't have to wind up going to get a gun and shoot yourself in the head because the relationship's over. You also don't have to go get a gun and shoot her. Open the door, let her out. Ask if she need a ride home. What you need to do. I have gone and got boxes and tape. You want to leave? I help you leave. Get on your way. But it took some work for me to get to where I'm at now. And there are people, the beautiful Sherry Posey, who's on the line, who believe that I'm a little bit too callous on the opposite end, that I don't really, and that's not accurately true. I try to get that through to her on a regular time. Oh, check that out. Rufus is on the line. Good morning, Rufus. Today is your birthday. Rufus can tell y'all because Rufus and I went to school with David Marshall, and he knows what happened then. It's just that we've got to find a way, but there is still, I know that, Otis Bellinger, Otis has that, Building Better Men program, but I think we need some sort of program on every corner. We need more people to do what you do. We need plenty of people that, can go out and counsel youth or stuff to let them know that life goes on and things will be fine. Where do we start? I still need an answer. How do we get to a point of, do we need to start calling parents? Do we need to start having some sort of forum at every high school in town, or even, junior high school, elementary, whatever they wind up calling it, middle school? Teach that with sex ed. Where do we start? Because, have you seen, let me just go to the other end. Have you ever seen any successful programs or any real effort made to try to teach kids that life is going to be fine when the relationship ends?
First, Carrie, I want to just send my condolences to your listener, Verdell, for her and her family, for losing her brother. You're in my prayers. I cannot imagine what you're going through. As far as where do we begin here, we begin in the home. Teaching kids their own value, their self-worth, as you said, knowing that you're going to be okay, that it is not, nobody is worth killing yourself and killing them over. Nobody is worth that. You can always start again. And we need to start that within the homes. I agree that we need to start it in junior high and middle school. I have so many young people in my caseload who are in relationships, and they believe that relationship is going to last forever. How many relationships from at the age of 13 last forever?
But hold on. Here's the thing. You said something real important right before we went to break. You said go talk to that person. I gotta tell you, I even me, as much as I like to talk, as much as I have opinions, I got burned once very, very bad trying to talk to a person and try to help them escape a situation that it was very, very clear was detrimental to their health. And, you
Right.
know, and after that, I learned that. I was like, never mind, I'm out. Not me. Say, if you want to stay in that sort of situation, stay in it. Do whatever you want to wind up doing. You know, be prepared, have a black dress. And I got it. And so it's hard. I had dozens and dozens of friends that I've had this talk with about, you know, do you talk to that person? Do you try and pull them aside? You know, just like, as I said, you know, some sort of an intervention, like for people that are hooked on drugs. And a lot of folks are like, you know, especially, and it's not just now. Again, it's not just now. Folks have been this way as long as I can remember, where they say, never mind. I'm not getting in the middle of that. I'm not going to try and tell them their business because I don't want them telling me how to live my life. How do you counsel somebody to say, I know that might be what you learned up to now, but that really hasn't worked. And now we've got to start to actually have the guts to go out and talk to that person and get involved.
What do you say to the loved one of a person who's in a domestic violence?
The one that you see who's in that situation and you know this ain't going.
Be honest with them. Now listen, you want to say, I'm concerned about you. I can see these signs and you don't deserve to be in there. How can I help you get out? Now, the thing is, they may not listen. They may be embarrassed. They may be so in love with that person at the time. They think that things were going to change because remember, the abuser in this situation, they're very skilled at fooling you. They coerce you to believe all kind of things. I'm going to change. I don't have anybody but you. All these things. They know how to tug at the heartstrings of the person they're abusing, as well as they know how to scare them. But as a family member or friend, I do say you want to talk to them. You want to mention to them, did I see this? I'm saying that for both sides. If you have a person in your life who you know is not treating their spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend right, who's abusive, you want to say something to them.
You got to pull their coattail and say, I need to have a talk with you. So obviously, y'all, we've gone too far in the let's just be hands off with folks and we're not going to tell them stuff. We got to get back involved. We got to learn how to, if you love the folks and you want to wind up seeing a lot more peace in the community than we have, you got to start to talk to them. 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. James, I was just about to go to you, so call back. Let's go to Tim real quick before we go to break. Good morning, Tim. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
What's on your mind?
I missed the monologue, but I'm trying to get it. Is this about, did somebody hurt themselves over a relationship?
3 cases within the last week and a half where a man decided to hurt the young lady because he couldn't accept having to leave the relationship. So their family members making funeral arrangements all over town. Southfield, one occurred in Southfield, one occurred the other day outside of hospital here, and then the third one was in Oak Park.
Oh, wow.
So
relationships are tough.
So just hold on, because we got to go to break now. So hold your thought. I'll pick it up when we come back on the other side of the break. 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. It's a very quick break. We'll be right back.
$910 AM Superstation is the voice of the people. Don't believe me? Just listen.
I absolutely love this radio station. This station gets me through the work week.
And we don't just show love to the callers. We see the comments and the posts too.
I'm always on the go, so being able to watch all my favorite hosts on 910 AM mobile app is amazing.
So when you think of 910 AM Superstation, we want you to tune in, call in, and don't forget to find us on social media.
910 AM Superstation has the greatest advertising deal ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600 with a must-air within 30-day policy, and we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Devin C. now at 248-357-4566. That's 357-4566 or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
Everyone knows 910 AM Superstation is the voice of Detroit. Take the voices of 910 AM with you wherever you go with our mobile app. Watch the 910 AM live stream. Never miss a beat with current events on social media. And you can always listen again using our 910 AM replay feature. Download the 910 AM Superstation app today on your mobile device by visiting the App Store on your Android or Apple device.
The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside of Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. Okay, Tim, I'm going to let you go ahead and wrap up because we had to go to break. What was it you wanted to say?
Thank you. Yeah, women and men are still different. Relationships are important, but moms and dads have to teach their boys, never put your hands on a woman. I think if you start out early, hopefully, your child learns and never does that. But women have total control over relationships when it comes to starting them anyways. Men have control, they can break up, but men, they get mad, they'll punch you in the nose and become your best friend. Women, they love to tear your heart out, take a bite out of it, stick it in a frying pan, smash it. And that's just who women are. They will push you.
See, this is the thing, Tim. I don't believe that all women are like that. I really don't. Now, maybe, everybody's now looking at the phone saying, Kerry done lost his mind. But I honestly, I have faith in my heart that all women are not like that. That there are some out there who actually you did. But that I believe that there are some out there who actually, when they're in the right relationship with the person that they want to be with, that, not everybody likes to say that build together, but screw that. If they're with somebody that they love and they care about and they want to commit to a relationship and that person's going to commit with them, plenty of marriages work out. All marriages don't fail. Marriages might fail at a high number, but all marriages don't fail, y'all.
Hey, Kerry, do you know that 80% of women, I think it's a little over 80%, think that 80% of men are ugly? That means 20% of the men are in the hunt. And the other 80% really have to try hard to get a companion.
What's wrong? Wait, but hold on a second, Tim. What's wrong with trying hard? What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I'm just saying it's much tougher. So when a man finally gets a companion, and works his ass off, and the woman takes advantage and leaves him, and the parents didn't teach him right, that could end up being bad. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you that it can, and that's why we're doing the show, because we're talking about there are plenty of situations where the man just didn't understand. Let that woman go. There are at least 7 different women on every block in America. They all born with the same parts.
Hey, there's women
Let it
that
go.
kill men too, Gary.
I know that there
all
are
day
some,
long.
but Tim, you and I both know that the number of women who have killed men is negligible to the number of men who have killed women.
I agree.
And so I do think that we've got to address the fact that,
Gary, one last thing.
Go ahead.
We have a written rule amongst men. There's certain things you can say around each other. Like I said, if you get up, if you step over the line, you're going to get smacked in the nose. That's hardwired into us because that's the alpha male, right? Women don't have that in their vocabulary. They will say anything in front of a man and they get themselves in trouble because men don't tolerate that.
But Tim, here's the thing. I know what you're trying to say. That there are women have said things to push a man's buttons, but we gotta teach the man. I need more men to go see Sherry or some other licensed counselor or something to learn to control that and not let the woman push his buttons.
I agree.
You're right. We have raised generation after generation of men that said, "Uh-oh, now you done crossed the line. Now I've got to hit you, and now or you ain't leaving me." As Sherry said, that they get this, oh, you're gonna leave me? Well, you ain't gonna be with nobody else because I'm gonna kill you. That is crazy.
Well,
that is
most
insane.
Men are passive aggressive. Most men are passive aggressive. They just won't talk to the woman. But there are those aggressive men that will turn around and hit a woman.
Well, we got to work on. I got to knock out some more of these other callers, but we got to work on getting those men to the point where they figure there's an entirely different way to handle the situation, and putting your hands on the woman or killing her should not be an option. It shouldn't even be on the list.
Beauty's not only skin deep. There's so many beautiful people out there. You got to really get to know people.
Get to know them. I got to knock out some more of these callers. Thanks for hanging with us this morning. Let's go to Rodney. Good morning, Rodney.
How you doing?
Pretty good. What's on your mind?
Sex is 90% of the battle. Get over that, you got to be.
But what about those that got too old to have sex? And you think that they don't still get angry with each other?
No. Too old, how old,
so here's the thing. So what we're saying is the trigger right now is sex. And that if they remove sex from the equation, then the man is not going to say, I got to kill you, because he ain't really worried about her going to go have sex with somebody else.
Right.
I don't know that. Sherry, do you agree, or do you think that maybe Rodney is seeing some stuff that might not be accurate?
Gary, no, I don't agree. It's not that simple of an equation to just say sex is the key. It's not about success. It's about power, control, no self-esteem. You grew up in an environment like that sometimes. It's not about the other person. It's about you.
I think that I agree more with Sherry. Thanks for calling, Rodney. But Sherry, I agree more with you. It is you've got to believe in yourself. Everything's gonna be all right. That she can leave and she can go have sex with a football team. I don't care. Bye. Do what you're gonna do, because I'm going to go have sex with somebody else. So see you later. Bye. But you've got to have enough courage and confidence in yourself to know it's gonna be all right. That you know the next one come along, Again, they all born with the same equipment. She can do the exact same tricks, or you can teach her to do what the last one did, and you need to be able to move on. Let's go to Carl. Good morning, Carl. How are you?
Yes, thank you for taking the call. Yeah, Scott Peterson out in California, when he was getting sentenced, if you remember this, he killed his wife and she was
killed
pregnant.
the wife. I don't remember what happened during the sentencing. Go ahead.
His mother, I mean, the woman's mother, she got up, she just said a few simple words, and she looked at her. She said, "You could have just divorced my daughter. You could have left." And she sat back down. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really know some people when you get intimate with people you think you know. If and I'm married, if I came home and I had discussions with my wife, we had talked about plenty of things, but make it short. I said, if I came home and you in bed with another man, that's fine, because you're not my woman. As a man, you must understand, you must move on. Feelings get in the way. No, that's fine with me. At least I know. You see what I'm saying? It wouldn't bother me whatsoever. Yeah, but I doubt that would never happen. But I'm just saying, you have to.
A, we would hope it wouldn't happen, but B, Carl, again, same thing with me. I've said that before. It takes something to get to where you and I are now. It took something that happened for you to mature and to accept the fact that, hold on, wait a minute, I don't know her. And the one that she got between her legs ain't the only one there is. So I ain't doing nothing that's gonna have the police showing up in my house. Woman, do whatever you want to do, but I ain't calling the police. I ain't putting my hands on you. Bye. See ya.
Yeah, you don't belong to me as a man. You can move on. It's fine. It's better women out here. It won't bother me whatsoever. I learned that in my younger days. No, you can walk away from stuff. Why involve the police for that? Why get yourself in that? And now you end up dead, or something didn't happen, you done ruined your life. For what? When you look at it, that's how I look at it, man.
Well, we've got to teach more people early on.
Yeah.
I don't want folks to have to wind up being 40, 50, 60 years old by the time they figure it out. We've got to teach them early that life goes on. Let go of that relationship. There will be another one within minutes right down the street. So thanks for calling this morning. 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. Let's talk to Ms. Leona. Good morning, Ms. Leona. How are you?
Good morning. Fine to both of you. My mind is just going here and there. I think the children in the home, the girl and the son and the daughter, both parents should talk to them, and then as they grow, maybe in middle school, they might have something when they would have PE that would deal with the issue. But some people, all cases are not the same. Some people you can talk to, some people will walk away, and then too, you can say what you will do or won't do, but when you get in that situation, it takes a strong person to walk away. So I really don't know. It could go either way, but as a child, and to talk to them, like my husband and I, we had 3 children, and my 2 sons and a daughter. And I always told them, love yourself. And if they don't want you, then maybe on down the line, you'll find someone. But then we're talking about different age groups.
I got you. I got to go to break, Miss Leona. I got to go to break. Thanks for calling in this morning. All right. Jay Love, stay on the line. You next soon as we come back on the other side of the break. It's a very quick break. It's only 3 minutes. We'll be right back.
My38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My38, we are offering a great special with 100 commercial ads for a great price. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Devin C. for more information at 248-357-4566 or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Have you thought about advertising your business on our 910 AM Superstation? Our audience is bigger than ever, and your investment will be lower than ever. Find out how you can grow your business. Give us a call during business hours and ask for Henry, 248-357-4566. We will tell your story, and more folks than ever before will come to your door. 248-357-4566. Ask for Henry. The super audience at our 910 Superstation wants to hear about you. Call now.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I had no energy for months and months and months. I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials. And, you know, you don't know if something's going to help you or not, but I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days to taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. It's Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. Listen to 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. This morning, we're talking with Sherry Posey from the Rising Phoenix Counseling and Associates office in Southfield. Sherry, before we run out of time, or before I take this next caller, can you give them, again, contact information? How can the listeners find you?
Oh, yes. It's Rising Phoenix Counseling Associates. The telephone number is 313-293-7460. Again, 313-293-7460. Or they can check out my website at www.risingphoenixca, and that's all one word, .org. So again, risingphoenixca.org.
Or 313-293-7460.
Yep.
Okay, let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Jay Love. Good morning, Jay. How are you this morning? I'm glad you called in. I've been trying to read all of the stuff that you put in the feed. I'll read it later on in the morning. What's on your mind this morning? Is she still there? Did we lose her?
Hello.
There you go. Good morning.
Good morning, Kerry. How are you?
Pretty good. What's on your mind?
Oh, yeah. So I'm listening to the conversation this morning about relationships, and I just had to call in. I was in your feed. But the first relationship that we need to master is the relationship with ourselves. I think too often we get in relationships with other people thinking that they're going to be the cure or the fix or whatever their problem is. And so we cling to this person instead of doing our individual work. And so I think that once we discover, and like you said, it does take maturity. It does take you going through things. That you need to work on yourself. Those relationships become a lot better. So when you get into them, thinking on somebody as your savior or as that person that's going to fix whatever's wrong with you, these things oftentimes leads to tragedies. I know TVX says this quote, when somebody decides to walk away from you, let them go, don't chase them, you know, because they're no longer tied to the story of your life. And that is true. You know, it's at any time you can change the story and make a new story. You know, it's a choice.
All right. I guess that pretty much sums up all of the stuff that you've been putting in the feed. As I said, I was only able to glance at some of it while we were doing the show. I was going to read it all later on, but you and Sherry both said that same thing. And I agree with you. The first thing you've got to do is come to grips with who you are. You know, the person's got to feel like they've got some sort of confidence and that they're self-assured and that they know that they will be fine, whether that relationship works out or whether that relationship doesn't work out. I don't know who started, how many years ago we started teaching people that they needed the relationship. Obviously, we've trained people that they need relationships. Obviously, society puts a premium on you need to be in a relationship. You need to be married. You got to find somebody. We have taught people that, not just in the Black community, we've taught it in every culture that they put a premium on being in a relationship, but we've got to start to it. I think that at least the starting point of trying to end some of this violence when the relationship ends is teaching folks that you will be just fine. There will be another relationship. The world does not end simply because that person wants to walk out the door. And you're right. I've shared that segment of his T.D. Jakes' speech that says when they want to leave, let them go. I've shared that thing probably 40 different times. Every time it pop up, I hit reshare it because I had to learn that long time ago. And I think now I've mastered it. You know, maybe I went, you know, Sherry will tell you I probably went too far to the other end, but I made it the first hint that somebody don't want to be around. All right, see you later. Bye. Say, you know, I ain't even gonna call you 3 times in a row because that seems too much like begging to me. You know, my position is it's a relationship. You here when you want to be here. If you don't want to be here, don't worry about it. The sun will rise in the east tomorrow, whether you here or not. So you can either be here or not be here. Bye. If you want to leave, see you later. I'll give you cab fare. But again, I'm not pretending that I've always been that way. It takes some time and some work to get to that point. I wish we didn't have to go through the fire in order to learn those lessons, but you know, unfortunately we have. Thanks for calling this morning, Jay. Any last minute words you want to say in the last 2 minutes before we run out of time, Sherry?
Yes, just know that it can happen to anybody. I too, Terry, was in a relationship for a long time that was abusive. So I understand what it's like to be that person in the relationship and try to hide it for years. And, you know, was somewhat successful at doing that, but to my own detriment. You know, if you're in an abusive relationship in any kind of way, you want to get help, you want to reach out to different domestic violence organizations. Sometimes it's not so easy to leave. You need a plan. It's not always safe. But we got to start in the homes in terms of teaching our children their own worth, their own value. Your listener, J Love, was right on the money where we have to value ourselves and understand that if a relationship doesn't work out, it is not the end of the world. We're going to teach our children, girls and boys, that you don't need to hit somebody. You don't need to put your hands on somebody because you're upset. And we have far too many women who do that, in my opinion. I'm not okay with it either way.
Right.
And if you're in there, reach out for help.
Well, I want to once again thank Sherry Posey from Rising Phoenix Counseling Associates. And you can reach her at risingphoenixca.org or 313-293-7460. And this is only the middle of the month. So I'm going to talk to her about how many more times she want to come back, because I want to keep hitting and emphasizing we are going to get rid of that stigma where we don't talk about mental health in our community. We're going to learn to talk about it, and we're going to talk about it as often as we need to, especially during this month of May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. So thanks for getting up this morning and calling and joining us, and I'll call you later because we got to pick the next time for you to come back. Okay?
Thanks.
Thank you. Next up, State Representative Jewel Jones. Either he or a member of the foundation will be here to bring you information and inspiration from 7 to 9, and then at 9 o'clock this morning, you can tune back into the Anthony Adams Show, except Anthony's off today. I will be sitting in that chair in the studio, covering for him from 9 to 11 this morning. Those topics we'll cover then will be this manufactured immigration crisis that you can't escape. The media trying to scare you about the border that's been there as long as this planet has been here, and police intervention with bad guys. Y'all have heard me say it before. Even bad guys deserve to be arrested and to go to jail and they have their day in court, and they shouldn't be executed summarily out on the scene. There's a videotape. If you want to look it up, just Google Fairfax police shooting. And we're going to talk about that between 9 and 11 this morning. Y'all, if you're leaving out the door now, drive safe. Have a great morning. And I look forward to talking to each and every one of y'all later. Have a good day.